Welcome to We the Blueprint. I am Ant.
I'm Joel.
And we're coming to you today to talk about...
Let's talk about, we talked about this before, but we saw recently where the guy got into it with, the girl got into it with, what was it, the bodega owner? Anyway, she got into it with dude, some words was exchanged. She go get the boyfriend. The boyfriend ended up getting stabbed to death.
Well, I ain't heard about that one.
So, should a woman instigate situations like that?
No. So tell me the details, first of all.
Well, I mean, it's just like when you was younger.
They got into it. She got into it with another dude, and when they go get her boyfriend, basically.
He wasn't even another dude. This dude, he was an old cat. I think the story was maybe she tried to steal some chips. He caught her or whatever, and some words was exchanged. She go get the boyfriend. Now the guy, I don't think he put his hands on her or nothing. They just had, I guess,
words.
just words. Right. So what'd you think about that? Because I know a dude, his sister called him because her and her boyfriend got into it. So he go over there, and my friend and the sister's boyfriend get into it. So he pretty much whipping up on the dude. Next thing he know, his sister on his back, trying to stop. So he said after that, never again. Don't call me for nothing.
Yep, that's tough. That's tough because you're trying to protect your family. But on this instance, dude know the girl was wrong for stealing something, first of all. So what can you really say? Well,
I mean, even if she wasn't stealing that, just say they got into it over some words or whatever. Is it even necessary to go that route to call up people and, I'm gonna call my boyfriend, I'm gonna call my brother, I'm gonna call my uncle, I'm gonna call my daddy, whatever. And then when somebody end up
hurt,
getting killed, it don't go the way you think it's gonna go.
Well,
to me, you just as liable as the person that did it.
But say if it go the opposite way, the person killed the person you was arguing with,
right? And now they going to jail, right?
So it's just a lose-lose situation,
right?
So when me say a few little words, get it off your chest and move on. Because if I kill somebody, I'm going to jail, especially for a girlfriend.
Right.
You gonna be sleeping with another dude anyway.
Exactly.
Nah.
Right. You gonna move on.
Yeah, move on. Nah, it ain't worth it.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah. Nah.
That's a good point. I'm trying to defend your honor. Something happened to me, and you on with the next dude.
On with another dude. Or if I kill him, you on with another dude.
Right.
Nah. Ain't even 2 + 2. That's negative. Negative. Nah, it don't make no sense.
Right.
Now, if I'm around already and some situation going on, then it's different. But if you're gonna call me to come to a situation, I don't know what's really going on.
I'm all for protect the woman. They always say, protect black women, X, Y, Z, whatever. Right. But in some situations, you shouldn't be. Protect me too.
But
you shouldn't even be putting some people in situations like that.
That's another thing. A lot of women in general. I'm talking about women in general. They're just super emotional.
Right.
So when super emotional women can get you caught up in some tough situations.
Right. Right.
So that's what basically probably happened.
Right.
Probably done add on extra.
And like you said, when somebody come to you, you halfway know whether if you know them, that.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
She might be convincing. And emotional women can be crying, make it seem like it's something more than it is. So it can happen. But don't call me with that bull.
No. Absolutely not.
No.
So what you want to talk about, son?
Let's get back to this tithing.
You want to go there?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you already know the preacher came out talking about he been teaching tithing wrong.
Right.
And I already know, for me personally, I just give from my heart.
Which you should.
Yeah. So my $20, $50, $75. that stretch a long way. When I do go to church,
you're consistent.
I'm consistent.
It ain't a lot, but it's consistent.
It's consistent.
Right.
Well, hold up now. If you talking about a month, that could be a couple of $100, $300.
Yeah, you doing every Sunday?
I'm just saying.
Or every week or whatever it is.
Right. Every Sunday.
Right.
That's
a check.
That's a nice little check.
Right.
So me personally, I always say, just give from your heart what you got.
Right.
And I think, like we was talking about earlier, churches need to let the congregation know what's going on, especially if you're a part of the church. Know the bills. Ain't nothing wrong with knowing the electric bill, the water bill,
right?
What the tithing look like. It don't have to be for the entire church, but if you're a member, at least you can know. With technology, you can do a little spreadsheet, show people what's going on in your church. You know, and I think that help people give more on a consistent basis. You shouldn't always want a big lump sum for somebody. And if somebody want to give extra, let them just give extra. But I think people count other people's pockets too. And it's a business at the same time. So they, like you watching what the pastor driving, people in the congregation watching what you driving too.
Right.
So they seeing who dressing up, whatever and whatever. So they expecting a certain thing out of people too. So they seeing you party. I'm assuming they seeing this in the parking lot. They might ask for tires about 2-3 times.
Maybe depending on the church, yeah.
Depends on the church.
Yeah.
But if it's already grown, then they probably ain't. They probably not. But tithing, I get you got to pay lights, water, and all that stuff. But I think the congregation should know the building fund, if it's a building fund, what the water bill, electric bill, or whatever be on a monthly basis. And I know pastors should get paid whatever the salary is for a pastor.
Right.
So I think it should, the congregation should know. And if the pastor need a raise, he should get the raise too.
Right.
So I agree with all that. But the pastor's job is to save souls, build up the church, and keep it like that. If he build up the church good enough, he gonna get the money regardless.
Right.
So it is what it is.
So a church that I went to one time, as far as staff was concerned, the highest person was the pastor. Guess who the second was?
The deacon.
Nope.
The first one.
Deacons don't get paid.
They don't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't know then. The
Think about it.
Choir director.
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah, minister of music.
Yeah.
He right underneath the
I can see that.
Right underneath the pastor. It's entertainment.
Not just that. You know, music play with your emotions.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you got something that can drive a person's emotions, and have them feeling good,
yeah,
you know, that blood start flowing, you jumping up and around, you singing and all that.
That was just shocking for me. I ain't really never think about it like that.
It kind of makes sense,
yeah,
though, because
it does.
That's a big part.
Yeah.
Because them first 10 minutes, I've seen some churches, that music ain't coming. People they'll miss that first 10 minutes and show up right on time for the preacher to speak.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that first 10 minutes it is important.
Right. Yeah, so, and for those that may not know, we're talking about what most churches, the standard 10% that they always talk about.
Right.
The mandatory, where they make it you feel like it's mandatory. So like if you ain't doing the 10%, you're doing something wrong.
So I ain't grow up going to church. So when you grow up, was your church asking for more than they used to pass the tithe, played around about a few times, or just one time when you was growing up?
No, not when I was younger. I don't recall them doing more than once, unless it was like some kind of special Sunday where they were taking up some extra, something was going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe like pastor appreciation, or maybe they're doing some kind of outreach, something like that. But for the most part, at my home church I grew up in, I can only recall, just doing it. And I can remember because, you always used to play the same music around that time. Mm-hmm. But I have been to churches where they gonna beat you over the head. And I've been to some churches where they took it up and it wasn't enough, and they kept going like, nah, this ain't acceptable. Y'all need to give some more.
Give more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's I'm like you. I got one set amount in my mind. Mm-hmm. Now, if you doing tithe, and they'll do like tithe and offering, they'll say that's different. Like the offering is extra, so they want you to give, or they used to say is like a mandatory 10 that you got to do. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you give an offering, if that's what you want to do or whatever. But they ain't supposed to. So if I got a $100, my $100 is my $100. Now you can divide that up. You can divide it up however you want to.
So let me ask you this: was the tithe or offering giving time? Was it when they preaching or telling you? Is it more in the putting fear in the congregation?
Some churches it's a fear. Like just recently, like the past couple of years, I heard the pastor use the verse saying that if you don't give, you be cursed with a curse. Yeah, I ain't gonna say who it was, but
curse with a curse.
Curse with a curse. Yeah, he said that. So this is my thing. I don't believe that you should give 10%. I don't believe that you should give. I believe, like you say, you should give what's on your heart. Mm-hmm. What's on your heart may be 50%. Mm-hmm. It may be 5%, maybe 2%. It may be whatever it is.
Whatever.
And they say, if you want to throw out a verse, God loves a cheerful giver. If you giving and you ain't feeling good about it, or you doing it just out of obligation, or you doing it with the expectation of getting something back, then I don't think that's necessarily. I don't think the Creator look at it as a blessing when it's like that.
But that's my go.
And again, don't get me wrong, the bills got to get paid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think.
And if you're getting something from the pastor every week, whether it be through song, whether it be through sermon or whatever, you should be contributing if that's where you like to go. You know what I mean? Because you don't be walking into no raggedy building. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You want to contribute what you can, but it's not. And the verses that they use, because I looked at it for years, like just researching it, and the verses that they use, it never really, in my opinion, added up. Mm.
So do you think majority of people give to get something back?
Yeah, I do.
So they're really not giving from their heart? They just give.
They giving to get something back. Because the pastor always tell you a story involving when they gave their last. Mm-hmm. And how it, doubled or whatever. It tripled or, something great happened because they gave their last or whatever. But they'll never tell you a story somebody gave their last and nothing happened. Because the Lord don't want you to be no fool either.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wants you to be a good manager of your money. Mm-hmm. And that even involves giving to the church. Mm-hmm. He wants you to manage that properly.
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it. So you can let that plate go round and round for all I care. I ain't. Whatever I give is what I'm going to give.
I agree.
Right. And I think that's just with anything. Like sometimes if I see somebody and they asking for donations, whatever the first number pop into my mind, then that's typically what I give.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? Or if you want to bless somebody, whatever pops into your head, that's what you should give.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do the same thing. All the time.
Because sometimes people be selling something, but it'll be something I don't really want.
Just doing it for support.
But I admire the hustle they got about themselves. So I might just throw them something, or I may pay the full cost for whatever the product is. Just tell them, well, you can keep it. I don't need it.
Yeah, but that's giving.
Right.
That's tithing.
But they'll say that's just for the church.
Is it?
That's what they say. Whoever they is.
Whoever they is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people will say tithing is more than money. It's also your time and your talent.
Yep.
So
it is, though. Hey, me fixing something around the church or anywhere else. That's
right.
Giving.
Yeah, it is.
That's tithing. So yeah.
Right.
It is. So you're right.
Yeah. I just don't think the
10%.
The mandatory 10%. Like something is wrong if you don't do 10%. Cause like I say, it could be 20%. If that's what you feel like.
Right. It may be a good day.
Right.
It may give more.
Right.
Never know what's on a person's heart.
Never know what's on a person's heart.
But that's why I think too. I do think if you share more of the business, you will get more.
Oh, if you told what was going on?
Yeah.
I mean, like what the obligations that the church has?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Because then they can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Especially if you got a good pastor.
Right.
And you build that church up, you're going to get more regardless.
Yeah. And I know some churches nowadays don't ask for tithes. But I think majority of our churches still beat you over the head with it.
Mm-hmm. But I did hear about the Catholic Church and how they do it through tithing with the insurance. I can't remember it all, so I ain't even gonna talk about it. But they had like an insurance policy on their members, and they basically, the members pay their insurance policy. Once they die, their insurance policy go to the church.
Oh, okay. Well, if they pay it.
So they giving.
Right.
Give when they die.
And say you from giving, I guess we all need to do that.
Yeah. Because if you know, life insurance can be cheap. $100,000, maybe about $20 a month.
Yeah, depending on how old you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's decent money.
Yeah. Yeah. And tax free.
Yeah.
And tax free.
But you're saving a lot of money. That ain't 10%.
Yeah, that's more than 10%.
No, I'm talking about that $20 a month per se.
Oh. Yeah, you saving on that end.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Definitely right. Yeah, it's just it never added up for me. Never added up for me.
So what's the most you ever gave?
I don't know.
You know.
No, I don't. I don't know. It wasn't no most.
So you always had that set amount, basically.
Yeah, had my set amount.
It always fluctuate between that set or lower.
Right.
It never higher than that set.
No, I don't think I never went no higher than that. No.
Oh man. Oh man. I think the most I ever gave him on the week, I tell you the truth, about 75.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably more than that. Because they had a little fun for something else, and I just helped out with that.
Right.
So probably a little more than that.
Yeah.
Told you to let people know. You never know. Get a little more.
Yeah. 75. Oh, you stupid.
I'm just honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't we'll see how many other pastors try to dispute what he said.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Right.
see the little blowback.
But see, it's hard nowadays. It's hard with so much information going around. It's hard to hide some of the things that people used to just take people's word for.
And two, people studying for themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And people truly now feel like they really don't need that building.
Right.
So, you know, once people figure out their own truth per se, I think pastors gonna have to tell the real truth too, and start going by the old traditions.
Right.
And I think to get people back in them buildings, they're gonna have to really get out here and go back to the original word.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you don't hear about trying to save souls no more. You know what I mean? I don't hear that at all. No, not really. Only time you hear that is at the end of the sermon.
Oh, when they ask you to join the church.
Mm-hmm. But you know, you don't see them walking around in the neighborhoods like that no more.
Right.
You know, I thought me personally as a kid, I thought their job was to bring people closer to God, try to save souls, get people off help people get up on their feet. And that's when I always say,
see, it's like when I was younger, it's so much based on fear. It seemed like, at least in my experiences in church.
And that's my problem too.
Because not just the fear of you not being blessed because you didn't give your 10%, but also it was never about, I can't remember when I was younger really feeling like God just loves me just because. It was all like on a merit system. Like if I don't do this, then this is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Or in order to do this, this is gonna happen. So then when I was younger, it was pretty much just about heaven and hell. Mm-hmm. So I can appreciate when they started preaching more of, you know, you can have your heaven on earth. But it's like, sometimes it's too much of one thing, like the prosperity type gospel. You know, a lot of people, they call it like a bad rap, which I think it wasn't bad. But when that's all you talk about, then, I mean, it should be a big, it should be diversified as far as what you know, what you're talking about, right? And some pastors, what they talking about, they talk about it so much because it's something that they really struggling with in their life.
Absolutely. And that's what I see. Majority of the pastors, what they talk about is what they dealing with.
Right.
So that's why I don't think they never get through the whole Bible or teaching, because it's about teaching first.
Right.
Well, saving souls first and teaching second.
Right.
So, you know, like I was talking about earlier, if you're teaching health and how to eat, how to help your congregation not be sick, period.
Right.
Mentally and spiritually, they'll be freer. They can hear you clearly. You know, you always hear pray for somebody once they get sick or whatever, instead of catching it before they get sick. No, you got a whole bunch of sick people in church.
Right.
And I don't think it ever should be like that. To me, that's like hell on earth.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't have so many sick people in church. You should have healthy people in church.
Right.
So to me, like I say, if you got a bunch of healthy people in church, you'll get more too. Because I mean, you creating. Your mind is working, your body is working. So you being productive in life. So you being productive in life, you probably can bring more people into church with you. You know what I mean? That'll bring more money in church. You can do stuff outside of church, help communities out, feed communities, educate communities, create jobs in the community. So I think all that have been lost, and it became more about the business of church.
Right.
And that's when I go back to saving souls supposed to be the first thing. And once you when you're saving souls, you're supposed to be healing people. And I think when you heal them physically, it goes straight down, because when you're saving souls, you starting with the spiritual. Then when you start with the physical, you start with the mental, and everything else will go.
Right.
So if you got a healthier church, then you got a progressive church.
Yeah.
A more productive church.
Let me see. On God's favorite, I think he just texted me. What? No, that wasn't him this time.
So
that's a good point, son.
Yeah.
I think we can end on that.
That's what I'm about to say. Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, shout out to my auntie that beat me in spades. Auntie, I said I was gonna shout her out.
What's her name?
Yolanda.
Yolanda?
Yeah.
Yolanda, 6 months late.
Yeah, 6 months late. They beat me and my brother in spades for my mother's birthday in February. Told you it's been a long time.
It ain't been that long. We gonna be consistent. We the blueprint. Peace out.